So our data show that the salesperson is not contacted until about 60% of the way through the purchase journey. The customer's out there learning on their own. And so while the conventional wisdom might be that the best way to sell is to go in and ask the customer what's keeping them up at night, what the research suggests very clearly is that time has come and gone. So in that world, it's much better for salespeople to come in with a mindset of not trying to understand what's keeping the customer up at night, but showing the customer what should be keeping them up at night. In other words, in a world where customers are learning on their own, the thing that customers still are willing to pay for, and the thing that best salespeople do is show the customer the thing that they couldn't learn on their own. The insight that they have, that the customer, despite all of their research, all of their time spent on LinkedIn and on our website and reading our proof points and our case studies and using our ROI calculators and visiting the websites of our competitors, what are all the things that they assumed to be true that actually turned out to be not true, or the missed opportunity, if you will. That's one thing I always impress upon people, is that the biggest change, and really when we talk about challenger selling, it's really a story not about how sales has changed, but of how customer buying has changed and how we as salespeople need to adapt our approach in light of that. I think the thing that makes me unique is I'm not a salesperson. And in the world of customer experience, I've never run a call center. I'm not a chief customer officer. I'm not a head of customer experience. But I think that's kind of the unique angle that I bring. I'm a researcher. So this isn't about what Matt thinks great selling looks like. This is what the data indicate great selling looks like. And so when I get up on stage, I bring a level of objectivity that is really rooted in science and data. But if you went to Amazon and you went to the selling or the sales category and you start reading the first page of all those books, they almost all start with something in the vein of, in my 30 years of sales high performance, here's what's worked for me. And in the following book, I'm gonna lay out my recipe for success. That's a sample of one, and that's a great insight and that's great perspective, and those folks have been really successful in their career. That's not the perspective I come from. This is not, again, Matt's point of view. I merely discovered what great salespeople do and what those conversations sound like, and then gave vocabulary to it. And I can tell that, present that data in a way that's compelling, entertaining. I always am careful to point out that this is not entertainment. If you want entertainment, there's lots of former football players and people can have your salespeople walk across hot coals on the stage. That's not what I do, but I'm gonna make them think. So it is entertaining, but it's not entertainment. It's gonna force them to ask really big questions and really hard questions of you as a sales leader and of themselves as salespeople. What do I need to up my game to be successful moving forward? What's gotten me to this point in my career may have been good enough, but it's not gonna be good enough to continue a level of high performance moving forward. If we're a supplier or vendor or a company just looking to sell something to a customer, step one is we gotta get the customer out of their status quo to agree on a new way forward. That's the story of the challenger sale. How do we do that effectively? Stage two is, especially if we're selling complex solutions in business to business in particular, we've often got to go from how do I get this one person excited to how do I get the entire organization excited and agree to move forward. That's the story of the challenger customer. It's about winning the consensus sale. And then in any sale, whether it's business to business or even business to consumer, it's all about how do we keep that customer? And not just keep them, not keep them captive, but to make them eager to be a customer, to want to buy more from us, to say great things about us. That's the story of the effortless experience. It's a story about customer retention and customer engagement through the customer experience that we deliver to the customer after they bought the solution from us. I do what I do because I love to see companies win. I love to see salespeople win by engaging customers differently. I love to see sales managers win by engaging their salespeople differently through effective coaching. I love to see companies engage their customers in a different way by delivering an effortless experience. And when they come back and tell me that they're doing things differently based on my research, based on what I said at a keynote presentation, that's what gets me up in the morning. That's why I do what I do.